Hello, here's your going home instructions for your puppy. If it's a little loud in here, I apologize. I have 3 nephews spending the night. So it's a party over here tonight. Okay. This is the contract, which I will have filled out for you. And when I see you at the airport, I'll just have you sign it. I've already sent you this, so you should have read through it already. If you haven't, you're welcome to read through it tomorrow. And then this is the puppy's vaccination record. So they're F1B Golden Doodles. That's their birth date. Their first set of vaccinations and the date. Their next set is due when they're 9 weeks old. And then they have another, this is what my vet does anyway. Every vet's a little bit different. But my vet does 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks. And then the final vaccination is at 16 weeks. And that's when they get their rabies, okay? Their rabies vaccination. And that's when they're considered fully vaccinated. And then these are the dewormings that they have got on board. And this is mainly so you can show your vet. I am sending this home with you. It is like a little bit more of a heavy duty dewormer that I like to do for my puppies. These guys are a little young for it though, so that's why I'm sending it back to you. So once your dog, or once your puppy is home and eating regularly, like appetite seems to have kicked in and everything, this is a 3-day dewormer and there's instructions on the back. There's 3 packets in here. You just sprinkle the powder on the food for 3 days in a row and it deworms them. And if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. It's just kind of my final, let's just make sure you've got a good, healthy gut. Last thing I can do for you, right? So that is that. And then this paperwork. So getting ready to bring puppy home. I already emailed this to you. I just printed it out so you could refer to it. What have I experienced? So look at all this cool stuff. It's so cool. I'm filled with pride every time I see this, and I'm sending a puppy home, because I only do 1 or 2 things a day, but look at how much you can accomplish, just by being consistent. And these are all things that the puppies have been exposed to when they are more, they don't have a fear instinct, so they are exposed to it and they're like, oh, that's cool, that's different, but it's cool. So it's really neat to look at what you can accomplish by just doing 1 or 2 things a day. And I would encourage you to keep doing that. I always tell people to think of the kind of dog they want their dog to be and expose them to those types of experiences and environments. So if you want your dog to go on car rides with you all the time, make sure you're getting that puppy in the car. Things like that. And then this last paragraph, I like to point out, your puppies probably won't be experiencing this too much. Maybe they will in a week. But they go through a developmental fear period. And if you think about it, if they were in the wild, they would be leaving the mom's den right about now. And so nature instills a fear instinct in these dogs for survival. So if you get your puppy home and they're acting a little bit more apprehensive, like they are shaking or scared of certain things, don't worry, they're not a fearful puppy, I promise. And you're not doing anything wrong. It's just a developmental stage that they're in. So the best thing that you can do, because our instinct is when you see a puppy who is scared, is you want to pick it up and be like, oh, it's okay, don't do that. Because that is reinforcing the fearful behavior. So if they're acting scared and you pick them up and do that, they're like, oh, that's how they want me to act when I'm nervous about something. And you don't want them to do that. So you can stand by them, let them process whatever is making them nervous. And then once that tail starts wagging and they've figured out it's nothing to be scared of, that's when you shower them with affection. So that's just kind of my last passing the torch. We've worked really hard on these puppies to make them socialized and really easygoing puppies. So that would be my parting advice. And then hypoglycemia. These puppies aren't too small, but I include this just because I want people to remember that, my adult dogs, I can feed them once a day and that's just fine. But with puppies, you need to feed them 2 to 3 times a day. Their little blood sugars can't handle it. Sounds like we've got a lightsaber war going on upstairs. And then this, just my final plug for Baxter and Bella. I really love it. If you feel like you need some direction with training your puppy, it's just, I love it. It's really good. And then this is something that they printed out, what a successful schedule for an 8-week-old puppy would look like. And your guys' puppy's 7 weeks old, but this applies to them as well. It goes over kind of what to expect with crate training, how much time they should be in the crate, how much time they need to be interacted with, when to feed them, things like that. So, and there's also like kind of what to expect at night. A lot of my puppies, so they have you getting up a lot. My parting advice for, I'm sorry, they're so noisy. I hate to, they're having so much fun though. Just bear with me here. So my advice, I'm a night owl, so I go to bed at like 12, and then I have a lot of puppies that sleep through the night. These guys are a little young though, so what I would do is I would cut food off at 8, and then I would go to bed at 12. Last thing I do, have them go to the bathroom, put them in the crate, set an alarm for 3, get them up, have them go to the bathroom, set an alarm for 6. So that's what I would do with these guys, is do 12, 3, and 6. And then just make sure that you cut food off at 8 o'clock at night, cut off food and water so that they don't have as much poo and pee in there to go. And then if you haven't bought Baxter and Bella and you decide you want to, that's just my discount code. And then here is the vet letter for your puppy. So that is all the paperwork. And then since you're flying, I'm including a couple of puppy pads and then these wet ones in case there's a little accident. Can help clean it up. Here's little poo bags. Welcome to dog ownership, right? In case there's an accident too. And I will cut food and water off a couple hours before they're flying so that hopefully they won't have an accident. But sometimes little puppies get nervous and accidents happen. And then you have a little bandana in there. I'm giving you a small bag of food. They are used to this food. You don't need to wet it down. They will be eating 1 cup a day right now. And how you tell, so every dog food brand has this like recommended feeding amount chart. Purina Pro Plan puppy food, they go by weight at maturity. So you're gonna go down and it's gonna be in this 21 to 50 pound range, obviously at the lower end of it. And then you look at how old they are, and that is how much you're gonna be feeding them. So these guys, for right now, they're at 1 cup a day. Now that's gonna get more as they get older, but I would give them half a cup in the morning and half a cup at night is how I would feed them. Or you can split it into 3 if you want to feed them 3 times a day. That said, let me go back to eating. Puppies they get kind of nervous with their new home. So if your puppy is not, if their appetite isn't super vigorous, or if they're even not eating, don't fret. It's just that they're nervous, and it will pick up in 2 or 3 days. And they'll be eating like you wouldn't believe. You'll be like, I can't believe you ever didn't eat, because they love food. So just hang in there. If they aren't eating, I would like give them like chicken or cooked white rice, or canned dog food. Those are all things that you can try and tempt them just to like keep something in their tummies. But I wouldn't give them too much of it because you want them to be hungry and eventually come around to eating this. And then these 3 things they have their First Home scent and Littermate scent on it, so they're all comforting. This is a Snuggle puppy, and it has a synthetic heartbeat in here. I'm doing a video, okay? I'll be done in a minute, okay? So synthetic heartbeat in here. You have to push the button and hold it down for a few minutes for it to come on and off. They make it hard on purpose so that the puppy can't turn it on and off. And then this heat vac is for the first night. It just warms it up so it's even more like a litter mate, which is cute. And they're used to sleeping with these with the heartbeat on, so they're used to that noise. So it's a very comforting thing for them, especially at night. And then favorite little toys I just include. They love to like carry these around, and they're tiny. I would just caution you as they get bigger to throw it away when you think that they could eat it or swallow it. You don't want something like this laying around because it could clog them up. And then here's a little blanket that has the scent of the litter mates on it as well. Gosh, I'm so sorry. My kids are being so noisy. I'm all about fun though. I'm a fun aunt, you guys. I'm gonna come in this corner and talk to you. Thank you so much for being a great home for these puppies. I love them so much, and I know you're gonna love them too. If you have any questions in the future, just let me know. I'm always happy to problem shoot things with you. And oh, one more thing, they've had a bath and their nails trimmed, so they're nice and ready to go. Enjoy them.